Welcome to The Coffee Grind with the Denton Chamber of Commerce, powered in part by Classic of Denton. The views and opinions expressed by the show hosts and their guests are those of the show host and guests, and not necessarily those of the sponsors, DentonRadio.com, or the Denton Convention and Visitors Bureau. For more information, visit the Policies and Procedures page at DentonRadio.com.
Good morning, Denton. My name is Travis Veselka. I'm the Director of Membership and Marketing for the Denton Chamber of Commerce. And with me is my trusty co-host.
Good morning, Denton. My name is Randi Skinner. I serve on the Chamber Board of Directors. And as a member, I represent Denton County Friends of the Family.
And good morning. I'm Joey Hawkins. I'm a Libra.
I'm also a Libra. What are the chances?
Aww.
I'm out of here.
There's too many Libras in one room.
So we have a special guest on today, Joey Hawkins from Jupiter
What's
House.
What's the name of that place again?
Jupiter?
Jupiter House.
Perfect.
Jupiter House, and what other businesses you've got going on?
Partners in Hoochie's and Sweetwater.
That's right. That's
delicious.
right. Well done. Well
Everything delicious. I think I've gone to all of those in the last week.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's like all my favorite spots.
Yeah.
Just keep cycling
That same
through.
credit card just keeps getting declined.
I figure eventually it'll hit. Like,
Yeah.
eventually they'll be like, we feel bad for her.
Oh, they just give it to you for free.
Yes.
They don't even
Yeah.
tell you that the
Yes.
card's declined.
It's not worth it.
All right, so I'm gonna skip all the normal other stuff,
Oh,
but we'll
oh my
dive
God,
right in.
what's happening?
We'll dive right in.
Okay.
Whoa, okay, I'm nervous.
So, for those who might not know, the Jupiter House went through, let's call it a transformation.
It
Sure.
really,
So
I mean,
back
it
in
literally was a
2017, the day
transformation.
after Christmas, there was a big fire,
Yep.
and quite a lot of damage happened. But Jupiter House got smoke damage and a lot of kind of
Right.
heat and kinds of things like that, but didn't actually burn, right?
Right. Fire broke through just a little part, but it was mainly
Okay.
it was smoke and water damage.
Water,
And
right?
then
From
kind of what
putting
happened
out
after
the
that
fire.
was the asbestos, pretty much.
Oh,
So
that's right.
Yes.
So, and how many businesses were impacted? I mean, by the
Well,
time it was done, it was.
I think there were 4.
Yeah.
So of course the mall and
Right.
Jupiter House, and then I think
La-di-da.
and
La-di-da.
La-di-da and
And
Shop.
Fly.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Or Shop the
Shop the
Barn.
Barn.
Shop
Yeah.
the barn, yeah. So four businesses were
Yeah.
impacted, and that whole side of our square changed.
Oh, big
So,
time, yeah.
But
Right. So
Here we
out
are.
of the ashes, almost literally.
Yes.
Jupiter House has just reopened
Right.
and had a whole facelift and all kinds of stuff. So
Right.
I wanted to kind of chit chat with you about what was it like in that, let's say, just round it down to a year and a half
right,
of time where your business had to close. You weren't
Sure.
able to be open, and employees had to be kind of dealt with,
Yeah.
all this kind of stuff. So in that year and a half, you've managed to navigate this path of having to keep it
Yes,
closed and then
blindly
reopen.
and naked.
Right.
Through no.
As the day you were born. And so you've now reopened the business. So I don't want to say in a nutshell, just to not like to diminish it or anything, but can you in a succinct way talk to me about that
experience as
Experience.
a business owner, yeah.
Sure. It's funny. I've tried to describe it like you work for FEMA all of a sudden,
Oh.
and
disaster?
yeah, and you're kind of you're taking things on daily that you've never really dealt with before. So it really felt like this big storm hit, and you are right. Like all the employees were affected, our family, the tons of people who would meet there all the time.
Oh, right.
We've even heard since we've opened again, like you see people, I haven't seen you in forever, and they're hugging, and because they're the place.
This was the place.
This was the place.
Yeah.
And then even people have said like, well, we haven't seen you or Amy out anywhere. And yes, it's been kind of a sad time too.
Sure. Right.
But I think everybody saw us there too. So,
It was just kind of a big hole almost,
Yeah.
like for a while, yeah.
yeah. And I mean, it's just, at first it's just shocking. I mean, you really do think that you're just going to be open in a couple weeks because
Sure.
you go in the place and sorry, just interrupted
comments.
here.
You're to blame for me having to say that my husband loves hoochies. That's Veronica from the Convention and Visitors Bureau.
Okay.
She blames you for his
That's
love
fine.
of hoochies. Okay.
Sorry, Veronica.
Yes, let the blaming begin.
There's probably going to be a lot
Yeah.
more of those messages
Oh,
by
I
the
feel
time
like
we're
I'm
done.
back on council.
No.
Here, this is what I start doing. How many people? We have 65 people signed up.
Oh, man.
What am I talking about?
Yeah.
So,
Your
okay.
experience
So the
and
things
kind
that
of
you
the
had
journey.
to go through.
Yeah.
Sure. So at first, you're just in shock.
Sure.
And, I feel I was very naive about understanding my insurance policy or even the lease or stuff like that. You feel like you do understand them, but I'm starting to realize now I probably only understood it like 75% of the way, because I just started to doze off and started watching The Office or The Simpsons. And
Right.
Sure.
Yeah.
So whatever. So going through all that, then all of a sudden, insurance is calling you. You're starting to just sign things. It's the day after Christmas too.
Right.
I mean, it's so weird. Amy and I had really written down in our daytimer, stay in pajamas, watch movies with the kids, because it had just been so chaotic.
Yep.
You're just done with parties by that point.
Oh, yeah.
You're just like, now what are we doing? And so really, at 5 a.m., my manager calls and says, Joey, I think Jupiter House is on fire.
Woof.
Yeah, and you're what? So this is one of those few times where we literally turned on the news and we're watching it. And I don't know why I did this. I went to the kitchen and I just got like a big bag of cookies and went back to bed and just started. And then it was like 10 minutes later, I was like, wait a minute, I have to go to there.
I have to go to there. Yeah.
And I don't know why. It was just kind of
Shock.
It just
Shocking.
didn't seem real.
Yeah.
Right.
And then to come to the square and then to see there were 4 hoses being dumped on top and then one from the front. And the heat that was coming off of this thing.
Oh, whoa.
It was nuts. And then all the water that was coming out of the Jupiter House back door, it was like that deep.
Whoa.
And then you're starting to realize, so then I'm walking around to the front and really nobody was there yet.
Right.
I had a couple friends out there and the mayor showed up like an hour later and so that even felt like you were on a movie scene because there just wasn't a lot of people and it was you were just expecting like somebody just to yell, okay, cut.
Yeah.
And so then they kind of get the fire down and I'm able to walk in Jupiter House and you see like things are like the ceiling has been penetrated, whatever, so they can make sure. And then it just really smells like smoke bad. And so I'm just kind of hanging out. I just feel like I'm just kind of wandering around the square, like,
at a loss for what to do. Yeah.
And there's even a video that we made with a firefighter, and then WFAA shared it, and we even just checked it again like a couple days ago, and it's got like over 200,000 views.
Wow.
It was insane. And you can hear me walking through like, well, that's not that bad. We can just clean this up. We'll be back open. I really thought we were going to be back open in like a couple weeks. Excuse me. And then you start realizing like, well, we found asbestos, and you start going down the path of what really is going to happen in insurance. And then you just don't know. Sorry. So we continued to pay the employees there for a little while. And then eventually we just had to tell them we have to let you guys go. And we had a great crew too. And I mean, workers had been there for 12 years, 6 years. Like it was like family,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They were all at our house, and I was definitely balling. I didn't know what to do, and so then we tried to do things like we had a tug of war event.
Yes, yeah, I remember that.
And so we tried to just raise money to kind of keep the baristas, I don't know, so they could make a little bit of cash. And I wanted people to continue to say Jupiter House. I thought the longer we were closed, they'd not say it anymore, and we'd lose like brand recognition and that sort of thing.
Sure.
And then it just starts taking a lot of time because then the landlord, he's dealing with his insurance and he's been great to work with, but it's just like all of these things take a lot of time.
Right.
And then even what's going on next door, and then they're like, yeah, it's definitely asbestos. And then there's even a point where we thought that whole brick wall was going to have to come down. And we didn't know. And I even told some people, I was like, it's coming down.
Sure.
And when that happened, I didn't even know if Jupiter House would ever exist again. Sorry. And
we need water in here. No, I'm just
no,
kidding.
it's okay. Whenever I start, here, hold on.
Oh, there you go. Oh, good. He brought coffee.
brought coffee.
So we're good.
Okay, good. Ooh, there's a lot of vodka in that coffee. So you just start kind of going down that path, and you realize, like, for a whole week, nothing has really happened. But stuff is happening. It just takes longer than you think.
Yeah.
And it's happening out of sight. And
It is.
Right. Yeah.
And things are out of your control. And so we tried to take advantage of that time by doing like kind of HR type stuff, or what do we want Jupiter House to look like, and
Plan for the future.
yeah, all that kind of stuff. And we still had broils, bagels, and hoochies, but go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, I was just going to ask. So, at what point, maybe during this timeline, did you start to feel like, all right, things are turning around? They're going to start to pick up again.
Like a week ago.
Really?
Well, and I guess to add on that, like, what was your motivation to not just like move on, right? Because I mean, you've got other endeavors. You very well could have just said, you know what, this chapter is closed, and a lot of people probably would have.
Yeah, so what
So
stopped you?
4 months before the fire, we had already remodeled.
Right.
So we had borrowed money to do that, and you still have to pay that back. Right. So financial reasons made us come back, probably ego reasons, wanting to prove something. But there were lots of moments where Amy and I we just did this. Like, we didn't know if we wanted to do that again. And some days we'd be very definite. Yeah, we're doing this. And we're excited. And then 2 days later, we're like, I don't want to do this again. This is not worth it. So I don't know. Thinking about the last 18 months, it has been hard. Just really, it's a difficult thing to try to get up out of bed every morning, kind of, and it's like it's coming at you from all fronts.
Right.
And it was even difficult for Amy and I, like, together all the time. Like, we try to pick each other up, but there are some. It's just sad, and I don't think you even realize like how sad you are, kind of, because I've always heard, like, if somebody really close to you passes away, you have to plan the funeral and all that, and you don't have any time to mourn because of everybody else, and then everybody leaves. And that's when you get to mourn and nobody's there for you, kind of thing. It kind of felt like as long as I stayed super busy, I didn't have to, feel, and then all of a sudden, oh no, I have to feel stuff. This is terrible. Like, it was.
That's a roller coaster.
Yeah. And Amy and I, how we got Jupiter House too. I mean, I didn't have a job. I was looking to open something. Amy quit her job. We lived above La-di-da. Jupiter House was open 24 hours a day. We would work all the overnight shifts and like survive on tips. Whoa. And we did that for a while. And so to like really think about all of that, and then just, I don't know. I know I'm just rambling now, but it's just
no, I think that a lot of people
and what's up with airplane food? Sorry.
I think that a lot of people can appreciate your story, though, because being a business owner has ups and downs even when you don't have a giant fire that destroys your life in there. And so to have it on that magnitude and still be able to keep persevering and going and getting up and pushing through, I mean, that it's not always, sometimes as a business owner, right, you got to be the one to scrub the toilets and take out the trash and clean up the fire.
Yes.
It's almost like not a way to answer the question of like, when did this happen and when did that happen? How did you decide? It's just a constant reevaluation, reinvention, and you're always deciding.
And
you're always in the process of
That's
deciding.
a huge. There are just so many decisions that are being made all day that you don't even realize that you're doing it anymore.
Right.
And because it's just always coming at you. It's just, but I don't want to paint the picture like this was a very pretty thing.
Right.
And I what a role model. Like, no, like, I mean, really just many reasons. Like, I don't know how we got through it other than just continuing to show up.
That's
of course,
like
maybe
I think that's kind of
that's it.
And I don't know. I think a lot of people out there probably were praying for Amy and I and caring about us that we didn't even know. But I'm in shock that thing's open right now and how it looks and how just the reception that we've got from people, and Amy and I are still in shock. Like, this sucker's open again. Like, what?
Well, and tell us about that, because not only is it open, it has had like a facelift and all the Botox. I don't know all the terminologies. I don't know what all whatever you can do with the nip tucks over
cheek
there.
Implants.
It has it. It got the butt implants. It got everything. So I mean, tell us about kind of what all has happened and how. I mean, there's some artwork. It's on a next level.
Yeah. Well, we've never really had the opportunity before to start all the way from scratch.
Right.
So that's why it's like, this is one of those
your
strange gifts, you know, that happen because you'd never wish this upon anybody.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
You know, like, but what happened is we had time to really put a lot of thought into every square inch of it. You know, not just like the bathrooms are back there, like with the we tried to make them really cool.
They are really cool.
Yeah.
Have you seen them?
Yeah.
You've been in and visited?
Yeah.
I
And
haven't
thank
yet.
you for the baby changing table.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So like even that.
Yeah.
Wow. How'd you do that?
So
You know?
fancy.
But it is funny. It was about 3 weeks before we opened, and I remember I popped out of bed and I go, Amy, where are we going to put ice? She's like, I don't know. So we had gone through this whole thing of thinking all these things, but we didn't know where to put ice. So we got a couple ice bins.
You only
But-
do hot coffee.
That's right.
Screw
now
it.
on. No. But just what was cool too, we use Kirkpatrick architecture architect firm
Just
there.
here at the corner.
Yeah, and there's a professor who worked there who taught a design class at UNT, and it ended up being their project was to take Jupiter House from demolition to the final design.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
And so Amy and I went there one day and we saw 38 separate 10-minute presentations on what they thought Jupiter House could be, and
That's incredible.
it was
is so cool.
insane. And so we have a lot of the pictures hanging up in the mezzanine there now.
Oh, neat.
So some of the ideas we saw that day really did inspire some of the things you see now.
They have a mezzanine now.
That's right.
It's fancy.
Yeah.
It is fancy. It's a lot of Z's. And so the front door used to be kind of up here. We moved that back, and now we have a front patio. And that idea
Yes.
really was inspired by a student. The mezzanine idea was inspired by a student because I thought that if you had some upstairs like that, you were going to have to automatically have an elevator. But
Right.
there are ways that it's a square footage thing. So here I am. I'm writing. I should know this stuff, right? I didn't know. I did research afterwards.
Sure.
But, so that was super cool. So I feel like, you know, the university helped design this thing with us.
Yes.
That's an awesome story to
It
include.
is.
Yeah.
And then even closing down the bagel shop in October, all of that wood that you see in there, that was all the booths from the bagel shop.
Oh, neat. Just
wow.
repurposed.
So we ripped all that out. I mean, when my dad and I built that place out, I hand painted all those boards and then scuffed them up. So now they're sitting in our driveway, and then Amy and I are really sitting on our butts getting nails out of wood. Like, why are we doing this? This is the, you know. So then they're all in neat stacks, and they sit there for another 60 days. And then we thought of this herringbone pattern. So then we start making tiles out of them. So that that's a cool story. And that
Absolutely.
there's a rack that's hanging over the bar. My dad made that for the bagel shop like 8 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And when Little Guys Movers, so we're just bringing stuff from storage units. Like at this point, I have like 5 storage units. I have more restaurant equipment than anybody. You know, it's worth nothing, kind of. And
one day it'll be useful.
yeah, so Little
It's
Guys
like
really,
Beanie Babies. You collect them, and they're worth something.
they are.
Yeah.
They still are. Those hold value well.
Very well.
Yeah,
Like
very
your-
well.
Like all of the restaurant equipment.
Yeah. So Little Guys drops that stuff off right in front, and I'm like, wait a minute, it looks like it was custom made for that place. I mean, it's cool. There's a big mirror. That's the front piece of glass that came down. All these all these concert posters that I've been collecting since I was 18 with like little ticket stubs and all that.
Yeah.
They're all just hanging in there. I mean, it's just really like you're just kind of coming into Amy's in my house.
It's awesome.
That's
It's
how
very
it,
welcoming. It's
well, it's
It's
just
personable.
It's beautiful.
yeah.
It's beautiful.
No,
I
we
mean,
tried to make it just a little sexy, you know, a little fun. Like there's some real classic elements to it
Yeah.
also, and I don't know.
so what can we expect in addition to just a gorgeous place to come and work and have a conversation and see old friends and new friends? What can we expect from like the menu?
Well, when we closed down the bagel shop, we pretty much merged those two concepts.
Okay.
And so that's really cool. But we've even upped our game because a lot of equipment was starting to kind of fail over there. So we were always fighting that.
Yep.
And now our kitchen is awesome. And like the cinnamon roll making area.
Delicious.
all right.
I really-
Famous cinnamon rolls.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been doing that since I was 16.
Yep.
And I am 22 years old now.
Yes. Many years.
I've been doing that for 6.
Many years.
I'm 44 years
Yeah.
old. I have been making cinnamon rolls as long as I've been driving.
Have you been counting how many cinnamon
real.
rolls have you made? That
8.
would be
No, I don't know. I don't
And
It's a
know.
lot of cinnamon
They're
rolls.
like the kilo unit that they used to have. It's like in bell jars. It's vacuum sealed. It's like that's the one that you aspire to all the time. That was my
Yes.
perfect one.
Yeah, sure.
Make those cinnamon rolls like that.
Perfect.
But but I finally got to design my own little area to do that in, and so that was really cool. And you can see now, like, Our food is killer over there, and our coffee too. We got much updated equipment, and then
so good.
and then we have RO water there too now. I mean, it tastes really clean. It's like every cup of coffee you get there is made with bottled water.
Delicious.
And it's like, I can't believe that that's the coffee that I get to sell and drink now. It's awesome.
It's pure. It's pure
really-
coffee.
I recommend the Cosmonaut. That's been my go-to.
Yeah, those.
And then the club sandwich. I'm into it.
You already tried the food?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've been there a lot.
Randy's been there pretty much every day. She's got the baby covered up,
Yeah.
you know.
Yep.
Well, I was still on maternity leave when they opened, so I was like, oh, perfect.
Of course, yeah.
Like,
Why not?
I live here now.
Yeah. And
That's awesome.
our crew is really doing a good job. I think that they got to a level faster than I even thought they would.
Wow.
And they just straight up, it's been impressive to watch them. We have been
Very
busy. And that's why we're closing at 3 o'clock right now. Starting Monday, we're going to be open from 6:30 a.m. to 6:30 p.m.
Whoop, whoop.
Okay.
All right.
And then we're thinking around July 4th, we'll finally bump it up to 10:30 p.m. and that will be our final hours.
Yep.
Cool.
But we just didn't want to just overcommit.
Yeah.
And we got ran over. I mean,
Yes.
which is a great
Who were
problem.
very
I've had the
eager.
other problem where
This
I really
one's better.
This one's a better problem. Me a little tired, but
You don't need much sleep. You're fine. You're 22.
thank
good.
you.
Right? You have the world ahead
Randy.
of you.
The
Up
world
top.
is ahead of you. It's fine.
It is in
Oh.
dog years.
I mean, if
Yeah.
you haven't been over there yet, y'all need to stop by. And y'all's staff, I mean, Jupiter House has always had a stellar staff. And I know some people came back and then some are new.
Yeah.
But the team that they have over there, I mean, they are part of the experience too.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
mean, they're stellar baristas, and then just the customer service, and they've got that Denton friendliness going on.
I've always thought they're ambassadors of Denton.
Yep.
They really, and some of the new ones, they kind of don't understand what that means at first, and then they start getting it because you are on the 3 o'clock spot on the square.
Yep.
Holiday lighting, parades, coffin race, all that.
All that
you start
goodness.
learning about Denton whether you want to or
That's
not.
right.
And
You're
yeah,
you're a Dentoning expert over there by the time you're done.
I
Yeah.
think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much for sharing the journey that
Sure.
you went on.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people can appreciate the challenges in a different way. You know, not everybody's had that same experience, but just the perseverance and the showing up. I think that's just
I think that
spot on. Just
Yeah,
keep
and
showing up.
if there's a lesson to be learned here is that goes a long way to keeping dreams happening.
Yeah.
It's just showing up.
I think so. I mean, thank God not every day was videoed with the temper tantrums that I throw and the crying and the all that. But yeah, it's a blur to even think about. Really, I can't. I don't know what to say other than really we just kept going there and swinging a hammer.
Yeah.
And
And it
And
paid
look at it
off.
now.
that's
I
all.
mean, I think Denton thanks you, because, I mean, everybody, it's like, even when y'all were closed, like, months ago, it's like every once in a while something would pop up, be like, when's it opening? And then
Yeah.
everybody riots on Facebook, like, nobody
I heard
knows.
it's gonna be soon. I heard it's
It's
gonna
gonna
be
be
soon.
soon. And, like, just, it's like this buzz has continued for over a year and a half. And so you still have, you are part of Denton. I mean, you still have that brand awareness, as you kind of were talking about. And it can't be lost, because it's like, I love the story where you said that there's people that haven't seen each other since Jupiter House closed, where you see them
Yeah.
come in and you're like, I haven't seen you in forever. Like,
Isn't
that
that
just
crazy?
speaks to so much of what, there's so many stories of Jupiter House, and I know y'all have your own, but so many of us out in Denton have them too. I mean, I've gone there since I was 17. And I remember it's 24 hours. So, when you're 17, like 24 hours, you're out of the house, you're like, what? I'm getting coffee at the middle of the night. Like,
Sure.
there's so many cool stories. And so the fact that we get to keep making new ones is, we thank you. Hats
Yeah.
off.
No, it's Amy and I have said this before, that it feels bigger than us kind of thing.
Yeah.
So we're just kind of like caretakers or something. I don't
Right.
know.
I like it.
You know,
Sounds good.
it's just, it is. It's, well, I've heard tons of stories. I wrote my, college paper to graduate.
Your thesis.
Yeah, thesis. There you go. Thank you. Or I went on my first date with my husband here. Or, I mean, all day long, that first week, people kept like coming up to Amy and I and telling us all those stories. And we're just, like, this is amazing. It just didn't, it doesn't seem real at times.
Yeah.
It's
Sure.
It's so cool. It's like a love
That's-
story to Jupiter House. This
Oh.
Yeah, it is.
Aw.
I've always thought it'd be a cool reality show, but maybe only for like a minute.
Make it
Because
be
then
like
I'd
a
be like,
mini
I
series.
hate me on TV.
Have you seen reality show? I'm sure we
true.
could
That
make
would be
a
good.
gym out of this.
Do a mini series. It's like just like 6
Totally.
episodes. Like you
Limited
leave them
release,
wanting for
right?
more.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did Veronica said? One more thing. If we scroll up before we move on.
Let's see. The life of a business owner is always a testament of strength and faith. So excited Jupiter House is back.
Yay.
Well,
Oh,
thanks.
and we love Jupiter House. Thank you for
Yes,
sharing your
we
story.
Do.
We're so glad you're
oh,
back.
I've been dreaming about those cinnamon rolls. So excited. Oh, Hutch, go get you a cinnamon roll today, babe.
You deserve one.
You deserve it. Get 2.
All righty. Well, thank you again.
Sure.
Don't go anywhere. We're going to go over some real quick, like
Some
upcoming community
announcements.
events and
Is
things.
this where I went under the table
That's
last
true.
time?
It is.
Okay.
Well, no, I don't know that was exactly
I don't
it.
even
but
remember, but yeah.
We'll
Okay,
see if
what
we
do
can
got?
reproduce it again. All right. First up, Frio's Gourmet Pops has just opened a location here in Denton. They're just off
Yes.
University. And we'll be
Delicious.
doing a ribbon cutting for them Thursday, June 6th.
Have you had any of those?
I have.
They're
I had the sample.
insane good.
Yes.
They're right by my house. So, like, Aaron, my husband, can, like, drive through there on the way home to
Yeah.
get one.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'd be, like, at home, like, hey, stop by Frios. Like, I've had a few too many of them.
Yes,
They're
that
so
the key
good.
lime one. I swear.
Oh, that's a good one.
That
I like the
needs-
strawberry shortcake
That
one.
needs tequila in it. That is a margarita adult little pop thing.
And yeah,
you
they're
can
not.
dip it in tequila. Did you know that?
I
Like,
did not
yeah.
know that. You can dip anything in
You can
tequila.
dip
really
anything
can.
in tequila. They're not kidding when they say gourmet too,
They're really
because these
good.
flavors are. I mean, they're not messing
And
around.
we're excited to welcome you to the chamber, but you don't have to be a chamber member to come out to the ribbon cutting. So come out and
Correct.
support
Open
whether
to
or
the
not
community.
you're a member.
And they're going to be giving. They're going to be serving $2 pops all day. Thursday,
That's like half off, I think.
Thursday, June 6th.
Half off their gourmet ones.
All right. So
Oh, then we have the business networking lunch in June. This is Friday, June 7th from 11:30 to 1. It's going to be over at Spring Hill Suites. This is kind of more of a traditional networking. You want to bring your business cards.
Yes.
They're typically, 50 people-ish? Ish
we
people.
go up to about 55.
And there's traditional networking. We'll have a speaker. You can
The
share a
speaker's
little
going to be Jake.
Oh, Jake. Oh, who's that? Oh, yes,
Oh,
Jake.
it's this guy off
Jake
camera.
Laughlin with Denton Radio. Jake, what is he talking about? Denton Radioing?
Yeah. Himself.
Or
Jake,
just
can
Jake?
My name's
Jakeisms.
Jake. This is what I look
It's-
like with my shirt off.
It's just a day of Jakeisms.
you? Oh gosh. He's going to talk about what Denton Radio,
Cool.
the Welcome Center,
Ooh,
all kinds of things, ways
fun.
to be involved with what's happening. The
That's
ribbon-
awesome.
live off the grid.
Yes.
Sorry. I'll
It really no,
That
that's what he
too.
would say.
Because we all know Jake is very off the grid. That is, I think, like the opposite of it. So that's on June 7th, 11:30. It'll be a great program. Jake always has a lot of insight to share. Learn about Denton Radio, the Welcome Center, and just how to get more connected. But you do need to get a ticket to come.
Did you know that Jake wrote a book?
He did.
I heard about that.
Get the gig.
Get the gig.
Yeah.
should-
and
you
he
should
wrote
look
it
into
in
it.
crayon.
Yes.
That's what
The
is so
original
cool.
manuscript.
That's right.
It took a really long time.
All right, so next up, Advanced Plumbing Services. They're having their ribbon cutting Monday, June 10th, starting at 4 o'clock. They're on Shady Oaks Drive. And
They're selling plungers for $2 too. Like for
I
I'm
wish.
just kidding.
did you
They
know that?
should give out something.
Do you know the nickname for as a plunger is the plumber's friend?
No.
Do you know about this?
No, I don't know.
Kid you not.
Tell me more later. Maybe not.
There's a story I have to tell you.
Okay, tell me later. Does it involve goats?
No,
Okay.
but I wish
So
it did.
the June quarterly membership luncheon is June 14th at 11:30. This is going to be at UNT Gateway Center. Quarterly membership luncheon is one of the larger events throughout the year for the chamber program year. You have to register by June 7th. And how many people typically come? A couple hundred, right?
Couple hundred.
Couple hundred. So it's a big group. It's a good group. You can get a table if you want. You can sponsor if you want. Lots of options.
This one is going to be featuring some of our elected officials as they've just come out of
is that
session.
the elected officials reception? Is
No,
it
no.
the same? Oh,
Different
ooh,
thing.
double. We get two things.
So
Okay.
we have some folk who were down there, senators and representatives, and they'll come back. And so since it's freshly off the legislative session, they can tell us kind of what
All the
legislation did they
things.
push through,
Yeah.
what has successfully gone through, what's still in waiting, because I think there's a certain amount of time afterwards. Long story short,
That's
but
awesome.
a lot of legislative info to be given. And then we've got Friday, June 14th. We're almost done. Then we'll talk about the elected officials reception. Friday, June 14th, another event to go to. This is the New Haven Assisted Living groundbreaking. I want to say they're doing a big restoration for the building that they're in,
Oh,
and
wonderful.
they'll be doing all kinds of
Come
fun
do a tour.
celebratory
I'm sure they'll
things.
do a tour and you can check it out.
All right.
Okay,
Here's,
last announcement is the elected officials reception, not
Right.
to be confused with the other luncheon.
Right.
It is June 19th, 5:30, Best Western. It's free for members and non-members, or free for members? It
Free
says
for members.
Free for members. If you're
It's a member event.
Okay. If
Yeah.
you're not a member and you want to come as a guest, let us know. We'd love to have you as a guest. But we're going to have elected officials out. It's kind of a meet and greet reception where there'll be some food, some drinks, some cocktails. You've been to a couple of these before back in the heyday. Yep.
Yeah.
Joey will not be there. Sorry.
Oof.
But which I think you're okay with that. He's got bigger and better things to do over at Jupiter.
No, okay.
So
This
who
is-
are we going to have out? City
This
Council.
is where City Council,
Okay.
our district and county judges, anyone that's been elected to a job here within Denton County.
Okay.
And it also includes the representatives and senators that we send down to the legislature in Austin.
A little bit of everybody.
So it's from municipal all the way up to state level. It's
Anybody with a sash.
pretty much. Yes.
Perfect.
The
You get a
sheriff,
sash at the door.
Yeah, Mayor McCheese
sheriff,
is going to be there.
He will be there. We always get a good statement out of Mayor McCheese.
Yeah.
I love him. I love him. Okay, so this is a really good one to go to, though, because you do get to kind of rub elbows with elected officials. It's not a huge group, so there's some time where you can kind of get to know them, ask them some questions, and learn more about who is representing you.
Yeah, these are the folks that are making decisions on your behalf
Right.
for the future of your community, future of your business, all kinds of stuff. So pretty awesome opportunity to meet them and get to know them as people.
Yes.
So, all right, well,
Is that it? That's the end
all
of
of that being said, I'm pretty sure we've already asked Joey the,
I don't think we
the
asked
prepared
him.
fun question.
I think, okay, so
Oh,
we asked a question at the end. I don't think we've ever asked you where your favorite taco place is.
Ooh,
in
I like
Denton.
this.
My favorite taco place.
Yes. You have to pick one place.
You do eat tacos, don't you?
I love me tacos.
Who doesn't?
I want everybody to know Jupiter House has tacos.
What?
Breakfast tacos.
Talk to me about this.
And really, I ate one before I came here, and it was
It was
delicious.
good?
it is
Okay.
now your favorite
Yeah.
taco.
But really, our hot sauce is so good over there. We make it from
Homemade.
scratch. Yeah,
Ooh,
it
a
really is.
Game
Fantastic.
changer.
Yeah.
Glad you know
So
that. Jupiter House aside.
can I say Jupiter House aside?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're what's the name of it? It's like Bethel, or it's in this.
Oh, it's in the gas station.
It's in the gas. Is that a
Taqueria
con-
Bethel.
Yes.
Which
and
gas
it's-
station?
Say that
it-
again, but say it slower. Taqueria.
Taqueria
Yes.
Bethel.
Bethel.
Yes. This
Which gas
place
station?
is so good. It's on the northeast side of Teasley and 35. Is
By
that
by the Super 8
Okay.
is that a Conoco or
or
a
Valero? I don't recall.
Yeah, I don't know.
That is the best
But
taco joint.
Seriously, if you go in there,
Yeah.
their food is so freaking good.
Okay.
And it's
Uh-huh.
cash only. They're closed on Sundays.
Okay.
And really, and it's I think they have one worker there, but it's the man wife making all the stuff.
Delicious.
Oh my gosh.
Is it breakfast tacos or like your lunch,
Both.
dinner?
You can
okay.
you can get all
okay.
that.
All of them.
Yep.
Yum.
Really, you
I've not been there.
And the gas station is really clean. It's like it's one of my favorite places to go eat. It's in a
Perfect.
gas station.
I mean, don't knock it till you try it.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. Like sometimes the hole in the walls, right, are
Yeah.
the best joints.
Those are always my favorite
Yeah.
bars and Mexican places.
Of course.
Find the spot. Okay,
Yeah.
so
They're like a sole proprietor thing.
Taqueria Bethel. Well, I'll have to try that this week. I mean, you can't there's so many options here in Denton that are yummy. So like, if you haven't
Yeah.
tried one, it's like to hit them all up is a goal.
I love it. This is one that we've not heard anody say before. So
Oh, it's
thank you for that gift.
So
you're
Jupiter
welcome.
House,
Yeah.
you got double
I'll
tacos
invoice you.
this week for the gift.
For the gift.
yeah.
Indeed. All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
So, with that, I would also like to thank Jake, who helped us out with the production of today's episode.
I'd also
and-
like to let everybody know at home that it's 100 degrees in this studio.
It really, if we're sweating, the AC was not functioning. We're not really sweaty
We're
people.
glistening. We're glistening. Yeah. It's a little humid. Alrighty. So, and with that,
We'll see you next week. We've got upcoming guests. We have Jessica with Economic Development coming out.
that's right.
What?
Yep, she's coming out. And then we've got Sarah Schroeder, who will be talking about goal setting. And then we've got some other folks coming out, too, in the next couple of weeks. So stay
awesome.
tuned.
All right. So Wednesdays at 10.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.
Well, thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed the show. We want to thank our partners and sponsors who made this show possible. And now stick around for a word from all of us here at Discover Denton.